Hello, good afternoon, Scorpio, or those who have energy of Scorpio, who have this vocation or this intention to therapy and therapists and being a therapist, and also passion with killing subjects, the death and transformation of situations, because the energy is that of comprehending and understanding, being empathetic, but at the same time knowing exactly to put an end to things. And that kind of energy, which is the Scorpio energy, by the way, is the Pluto energy also. And Pluto is changing from Pisces to Aquarius. And this is a major transformation that is going to occur for 20 years. So the energy of Pluto is a long one, a transformative one, and modificates and transformates everything that touches. And these modifications, transformations, and everything that is going to be associated with this passage to the planet of Pluto to Aquarius is going to be highly impactant in the way we relate with each others and how we perceive ourselves as individuals and also as collectivity. Okay, so with no further ado, I'm going to present you with this interpretation of 3 moments in time. First the 10th of January, then the present date, the 22nd of January, and the 2 of or the 2nd of February, which is concluding this presentation, this consultation, astrological consultation. Okay, this is not a thorough reading. Okay, so today I'm going to do something different. Okay, the eight shop, the therapist, and also the foundations of knowledge of intimacy as instrument for creating family. Okay, so let's get into the maps and the interpretation. So at the 10th and 11th of January, we were still in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is in the third house, which is house of communication. So communication and also the way we feel because we have the moon, the way we fight because we have here Mars. And by the way, Mars is co-regent of also of the Scorpio energy. So it's interesting because this is a lot, this reading, this astrological reading has a lot to do with the way we interpreted the energy of, for instance, Aries, and also of the energy of Scorpio. So Scorpio and Aries are both, this is a regent and co-regent of, or co-regency of Mars. And this energy is the energy of fight, of being direct to resolve, to solving issues. And this, I would say, this mission, this propelling energy of solving things, it's common in the Aries and Capricorn signs. Okay, so that has a lot to do with this fiery energy of the planet Mars. Okay, so at the present moment, at the 11th of January, which was that present moment, in that present moment, we had this proximity between the moon and Mars, both in Capricorn. Also, and beginning in the second house, which is the house of resources, the house of Taurus, we have this planet, which is Venus, and it has to do with Taurus energy because it is regent, also the regent of, we can see here, but it's here of Libra, okay? And it is related with the values of Sagittarius, which are expansion, understanding the otherness, perceiving the needs of collectivity, multiculturalism, and so on and so on. So these ideas that we have of this universe, this consumers world where everyone is neighbor of everyone, where we have expansion of cultures, we understand and integrate different cultures. This is everything here in these values. And also this is very commercial because it is in the house of resources, of money, of trade, from the material perspective. Because from the relation perspective, from partners, partnerships, firms, we have here in the seventh house Taurus, and we have Uranus. And Uranus is doing a transformative path through all the signs from 7 to 7 years. And here it is on the seventh house, doing a lot of changes, okay? And this is happening in the USA, not happening in Europe, because in Europe we have a different map, okay? The place of the world is different from the acting of the planets, okay? The planets are the same, the energy of the planets are the same, the houses are different. And this is very important because this interpretation I'm doing here for you is different from that I have done yesterday in Portuguese for England and Portugal. Okay, so if you live in Europe, it is preferable to see my interpretation not in English but in Portuguese. And the same for the Portuguese who are listening. You can put the legends on and understand that this interpretation, this astrological interpretation, is totally different from the that I have done yesterday. And that is not because of the day, it's basically because of the place where it's being associated with. And this interpretation, this reading is for New York, and it is for the United States basically, and it's for Americas. Okay, so feel free to see the other interpretation. Okay, but I was saying to you that this interpretation that I'm doing here for New York, we have basically the second shop, third shop, fourth shop, and these are three basic shops. And then we have three relation shops: the stage, the clinic, and the firm. Okay, so what we have here as a theme, and we are discussing here, is basically the press and the media, and how the media are being controlled by Capricorn, because we have here the moon, which has to do with feelings, with the fourth house, which, by the way, is held here with Saturn in Pisces. Even it is in the possession of Aquarius, but this influence of Saturn, because you have a planet here, and the planet always interferes on the energy of the house, is being constructed a kind of liaison with the collective mind from inside of anyone, or from the person, the individuality, the feeling, the inner feeling, the traumas, the non-addressed traumas, because the fourth house has to do with kindergarten, non-addressed traumas, past, family, intimacy, because it has to do with the moon, okay, the energy of the inner self. And that is being worked by Aquarius, but it's also been influenced by the Saturn in Pisces, okay? And this means that probably the individuality of people is concerned with the collectiveness, and in the sense of organization, churches, some kind of transformative organizative process, okay, in the area of our own feelings and relations with ourselves, okay, with traumas with the past. And also the way we present ourselves in the world. So today it's quite evident that we have a lot of conflicts going on. We have conflict in Ukraine, we have conflict in the Middle East, and in the Middle East we have a lot of scenarios, a lot of spots. We have the Gaza, the Gaza situation with Hamas, but we also have in the Red Sea the Houthis, and we have a lot of entanglements and fights going on in different Arab countries, even in Iraq, Syria. We have also in the north of India, Pakistan, in the frontier with Afghanistan. Okay, we have a lot of issues, conflict issues, and are also religious ones, because we have this fight between Christianity and Islam. And also, this is reflected here in this fifth house with the Pisces, or the Neptune in Pisces on the fifth house. So the 12th house, which is held, by the way, by Libra, is what is sustaining a bit here the non-confrontation or not confrontational behaviors. Also, these fights are between this collective idea of religion dominating what it is the stage of the world, which is in fight with the press, the free press, which is represented here in the third house, because we have free press here in the West, in Europe, and in the United States. So press and media, they are free and they sustain war. Okay, that's why we have here Mars and the Moon both in the beginning of the third house, but also the Sun and Pluto. And Pluto is the destroyer of worlds and is still in Capricorn. So I would say that in the 11th, 10th day of January, we are holding back the fight. Okay, that's what I'm interpreting from here. Also, in our individual plan, we are concerned with our resources, our communication, also a lot with our feelings, inner feelings, the way we present to the world, the way we interact in our workplace with our employees, but also with our bosses, and the way we behave in our own house with our partner, in the partnerships, in the firms, in our daily life, in our family, because this is also a theme. The family is a theme of Scorpio. We don't see a lot of influence here in Scorpio, but we have Taurus beginning the house of Scorpio. So the cuspid, which is the beginning of the house, is in Taurus, which means the energy is combined of Gemini and Taurus. And there's an important collocation in the 8th house in today's day map. Okay, this is a map of today. The previous one was from the 11th day of January. This is from the 22nd of January, okay? So this is the present map of today in New York, okay? Hour of New York. And so this is very interesting because at this present time, we are seeing here that the values still are on Sagittarius, but we have Mercury, we have still Mars on the energy of Capricorn. And this is important because Mercury has changed from Sagittarius to Capricorn, which is a more security and more protective energy. The idea of expansion is changing. Maybe because this idea of religion is transforming against us, is being, it was, if we see in the previous map, it was the basis of some kind of control, of some kind of structure. And now we are seeing this opposition and these two quadrants, which means that we are getting into a more fighting stance, okay? And mainly because we have the Moon in Gemini in the 8th house, and also Pluto and the Sun enter Aquarius. So air has entered in the map. If you saw in the previous map, we have Sagittarius, we had Aries, which are both fiery energy. We had Pisces, and we had Capricorn and Taurus in ruling the planets, okay? And the positions were basically the 3rd house, the 7th house, the 4th and 5th house. And now we are expanding to the 8th house, okay? So the 8th house has to do with profound relationships and has to do with Scorpio energy. Also, Pluto enters in a different sign, which is Aquarius. So some kind of deeper meaning communication is getting into ground, and press, and if we saw here the 3rd house where we have the press, where we have communication media, it's changing, it's beginning to bring the voice of people in, okay? And this is changing everything, and probably as time goes by, these Aquarius will held all the 3rd house, and when he held the 3rd house, probably we'll have a lot of changes in the world because the media transform themselves also. Okay, so we still have some kind of the medium of the spirituality realm, because we have these Pisces in these two planets in Pisces, Saturn, which is, by the way, ruler of the government, of the institutional order, and we have Devas going on, and this is also the influence of Devas still. Okay, this functional hypocrisy of Mercury under Capricorn in the third house is clearly trying to entangle all these energies. Okay, so this is still here. Okay, but we are going to face some changes. So the 2nd of February is going to bring a lot of transformations, because Moon changes from Gemini to your own energy. It changes to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Moon Scorpio in the 12th house is going to do a confrontation. Okay, this aspect in astrology is called the opposition. Okay, it's going to do an opposition. We have some quadrants or quadratures here, and we have this opposition. Okay, and this is a totally different map, a lot more of conflict, because what is happening here is that these ideas of this Taurus energy in the 7th and in the 6th house, in the way we work and the way we relate with our partners in the work environment. So this is a lot to do with work environment, more than in our own families. That was more 7-8, and it is clear here that this transformation is going to take us to another level of confrontation, mainly with this communication in Capricorn, which is a lot of hypocrisy, functional hypocrisy, because the idea of progress, instant and constant progress, is being defied by this moon. Okay, this moon is fighting, this moon in Scorpio in the 12th house is fighting the 6th house of Jupiter, which is Taurus, which is telling us that if we work hard, if we work long, that is going to compensate. And the moon is saying, no, you must open yourself to others. You must give yourself to others. And this Jupiter is saying you must kept, okay? So give and kept are here fighting in this axis of life between Taurus and Scorpio, okay? So it's going on a fight here. Also, we have a lot of changes, because Capricorn is not holding anymore so much power. Still, Pisces is trying to incorporate some kind of collective energy here, trying to say to everyone that, okay, let's focus on this idea of dissolving conflicts and getting together. But also we have the press here trying to manifest this Aquarius that is going to gain more power. As Aquarius gains power, these kind of equilibriums are collapsing, okay? And that's the main message I have today. So a lot of changes, and this moon in Scorpio is bringing the change, because Scorpio has this energy of saying where the problem is, of bringing the blood on in order to solve the problems, in order to change what it has to change. And this Pluto in Aquarius is what represents, okay? So basically, this is what I have to say to you about these 3 maps, these 3 moments in time in January, February, and we see you next time in February, okay? So see you then, bye.